So here we are trying to do Russell some justice, and also my good friend Alex as well. And basically welcome to another video from F1 TNT, Formula 1 this and that. And this is brought to you by F1 from Codemasters F1 2020. So, not a perfect start. I overtook some of the cars on turn 1 on the outside, meaning that I had to give that position back. More or less same here, at least I kept one wheel on the track, which means that I was able to avoid all that mayhem and still get a few places up in the score. Now I'm having this interesting battle with that Haas car. Tires are cold, they are hard, it's the beginning of the race, and obviously it's a little bit more slippery than, or at least I am slipping a little bit more than the other guys around me, which have softer compound tires. Now, I benefited from that McLaren going into the pit, and that was an easy spot up. Another overtake, taking my position back from that Haas, and now a double overtake on that Renault and McLaren, which was also really good. Let's see if this Russell boy can hang up or hang on to his position. From this point onwards was all about managing my race pace, try to catch up the cars in front. I know that I was in a much better strategy than my my surroundings, because I was on the harder tire, or at least on the medium tires, harder than everyone else's, and I would benefit from it at the end, because I would go on to the soft or the super soft, which would then put me in a much faster pace. Obviously I was still struggling. I've kept no assists on apart from the anti-lock brakes, because my pedal is a little bit soft and I don't have the sensibility that I should have. So pretty much that's it. Everything else is turned off, and yes, I am struggling a bit with traction with basically it's the traction coming out of the corners that I struggle the most, and as well going into the corners. As I said, the sensibility of my Thrustmaster, it's not that good. I know there are a couple mods out there that should improve this, but I still haven't had the time to wrap my head around this. So in any case, here we are, making some mistakes there and there, and it may not feel like it, but I'm trying to move as fast as I can and see if I can catch some of the guys. This is the boring part of the race, obviously, because you are in no man's land, meaning that you have no immediate threat from behind, nor are you trailing any car, so it's just pretty much concentrate and focus on the race and whip the rewards in a couple laps time. I'm not a pro, I'm just a casual player. I do this for fun, mostly for fun. I don't do any sort of competitive driving. So if you are a hardcore gamer and a hardcore sim racer, and if this is making you cringe, so just move on with your life and go check another video. If not, then just stay in and enjoy for the ride. I will keep quiet now and just audio up and enjoy until my next catch up. So guys, as you can see at this point, I'm catching up a bit with the cars up ahead, but I'm also struggling because I'm not focused 100% on this race. Got my kids with me, so I'm sliding a little bit. I'm misjudging my braking points, meaning that I'm losing time on the corner entry and therefore sacrificing my exits and overall lap time. I'm just losing it all over the place. So, but in any case, as I said, this is just for fun and trying to make sure on this race, which is a 25% race distance race, meaning that I have to do one pit stop and change tires, change compound. So basically, at this point, it's just, you know, trying to manage everything and just for the fun of it, trying to get those some points for Williams on this race. And eventually, with such bad driving, it would be expected that any of the cars coming from behind would catch up to me, which eventually it did. That was the McLaren, I believe it's Sainz, Carlos Sainz. And again, I'm making a lot of mistakes here, and yeah, there goes Sainz. So at this point I was just trying to think the old switcheroo, you know, let him go in at ease onto the braking zone and then capitalize on the corner exit, and he was quite nice there. He didn't put up much of a fight, and I managed to put some good distance between us on that long straight there. I also benefited from DRS, which also helps. At this point, I was also thinking about fuel consumption. Oh, bit of a moment there. Just caught my back end trying to overtake my front end, which is never a good thing, and that normally means a spin. And again, Sainz trying to overtake me. I've left him enough space for him to get by. Here I missed completely my braking point, meaning that I went extra wide and almost took Sainz and myself out of contention. But Sainz was he was very reasonable, so he kind of judged that I would hit him, so he backed off and left to fight another day. So at this point my tires were a bit gone, because with all the mistakes that I've done, life was being drained out of these tires. So I was thinking about my pit stop, and I wanted to switch onto fresh rubber, which I didn't do. Went for my pit stop. I'm actually amazed with these 90 degrees corners that the cars do on their pit stops, and how they kind of slide sideways, but that's that's just how the game is, right? So and now on the softer tires, trying to, you know, capitalize on a faster pace, faster car, because track has rubber then supposedly, and I should be faster than everyone else's, or at least the guys in front that were running on harder tires. I was a bit distracted here with what was going around, and you can tell by the amount of time and mistakes that I'm making. So, time to keep my head down. That Alfa Romeo is going in. This is Latifi, my teammate. Hopefully he won't put up much of a fight. I should just, you know, breeze past him. But he decided to do it on the most difficult position in place, which was turn 1. Not good for him, not good for him. Sorry, not good for me, not good for him, because we could, you know, touch each other, or just let's say it's not the best place for you to let your teammate by, really, on a steep corner. Now comes the time when we try to focus and get those positions back. Not the positions back, because they were never mine to begin with, but try to increase our point scoring. So another Alfa Romeo going into the pits. A little bit of imbalance there, because I came way too close of the back end of that Alfa Romeo. Fuel consumption, I've reduced my engine to standard mode. And basically I had two Ferraris in front of me which were running on medium tires and hard tires, so that means it was the yellow and white stripe tires, and I was running on the softer, the red one, so I should have an advantage here. The efficiency, or the aerodynamic efficiency of the Williams is not of the same gradient as the Ferraris, but I was relying on the rocket engine on the back of the car and the grip that I had with these tires to try and catch up to them. Seems that I've been gaining a lot of time as each lap goes by. Again, distracted, my mistake. I was just simply distracted with the car in front and just misjudged the braking point. I'm also having my ERS always set to overtake, because I was regenerating very little electricity, meaning that my allowance per lap was always on, was always there. I just needed to actually have the energy stored in my battery, so I just decided to keep it in overtake mode, as in forever throughout the lap, and save as much fuel for the end of the race, because these Ferraris, they might get, you know, feisty. So, and this was me already making assumptions that I would be able to catch them and overtake them, and that's a big if, of course. So no DRS at this point. So this is the slowest part of the track, where I was hoping that my grippy tires would allow me to stay with these two cars and just, you know, go with them. And try my chances on the next three straights. Just, you know, be very clever. Open my DRS. As you can see by those two green lights. And there you go. There you have it. Clean overtake, just coming out of that Ferrari's gearbox right at the last minute. And here I thought, should I go, should I not? Then I made a mistake and I actually ended up hitting Leclerc there. And but the DRS is very powerful, plus grippier tires, Mercedes engine, and it was a very easy pass. I mean, the Ferraris, they didn't add up to perhaps different race strategy. I don't know how is their fuel consumption and how the management of their engine was, meaning that they were quite good friends of mine, because they just, in the end, they let me pass really easy. So at this point I should be around P7, P6, and having the dashboard outside of the wheel, the steering wheel, it's not that good for me, because the only times that I actually remember to look at it is when I'm actually either braking or coming out of the corner, because it's a more quieter moment. But my hand most of the times, or the wheel itself, is in the front of my vision, so I don't actually see much, and I normally get distracted by it, and it's just a silly mistake that I do, and I've been trying to avoid that. But you know, when you are out of focus and you're not in that competitive mode, you tend to do these silly mistakes. So my hopes now were that I could, you know, try to reach the cars in front of me. I was hoping that I would have enough laps to do so, but again, I had to manage my fuel. So at this point I was leaving the Ferraris behind, and at least it was a good indicator for me. It meant that either their pace or race pace wasn't good enough compared to mine, or at least that I was able to keep the momentum going forward. Judging by the distance of the car in front of me, I was quite confident that, okay, I was despite my mistakes, that I was in a good pace. So that's an Aston Martin car. This, I mean, we are still talking about 2020, so this was Racing Point still. You can see by the pink color of their sponsor. And hopes were that I would eventually get the guy. should be my cockpit view, and this is actually the final lap if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, that was a lap, that was a race. That's for you, Alex. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one, buddy. So guys, there you have it. So I actually finished P7, starting from P19. That was good. We managed to score some points, those much desired Williams points, but obviously in the virtual world, not in real life. But at least if it's some sort of consolation for all the Williams' friends and my friend Alex, there you have it. 6 points for Williams. Williams, fight the world. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, as I said, this is just for fun. So remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed what you've seen. If you want to keep coming back for more, hit the subscribe button with that bell option so that you are always notified each time we release new content. So until next time, have a good one. Take care now. Ta-da.